another amazing day at fmtraining.tv, where we discuss the fantastic and wonderful FileMaker platform. Hi, my name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. We stream 5 days a week on FileMaker, basically. Today we are here with Nick Hunter, who is probably the best UI UX designer ever in FileMaker. He's fantastic, and we are very lucky to have him here doing a series with us about UI and UX. We are currently in like the first month chunk of the series where we discuss for beginners and intermediate, and currently we are covering iPad, which is really quite interesting. With that being said, I'm going to talk about the schedule real fast. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Ta-da. So today we are doing day 8 and day 9, which is going to be both iPad focused for the beginners and intermediate. For Friday, we are doing an open FileMaker server Q&A. If you have questions, please share them. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to begin doing the last chunk of the beginner, intermediate UI UX stuff with Nick. We'll be covering iPhone, so that'll be really quite interesting. Real quick, if you'd like to support the channel, we'd appreciate you getting our FM Training annual subscription bundle. It is 100+ hours of really high energy video training content. If you have gaps in your video knowledge or FileMaker knowledge, excuse me, or you would like to basically start out from beginner to becoming an intermediate developer, or you'd like to talk about or learn very specific subjects, we cover pretty much all of it. If you've already bought this, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you're thinking about getting it, please do. It both supports the channel and supports our free streams, and also you get lots and lots and lots of training out of it. Nick, what are we doing today?
Today, hello everybody. So thank you, Margaret, for this nice introduction, like usual. And thank you, everybody. So I'm opening Discord here. We have some people here, so it's good. So thank you for joining today with my, yes, I have my bento collector shirt. So thank you for joining. So today is the day 2 of the design for iPad, right? So design for iPad. So I explained yesterday the difference between the desktop and the physical difference, right? And the difference we have of the interaction we have with the object, right, or with the device, and we have a significant difference between the desktop and the touch. Because yesterday what I was talking about is after I thought about discussion we had over there, at FileMaker Inc. at that time about the iPad, right, and how completely puzzled they were and completely lost they were on the engineer side and on their what's the name, on the engineering side and on the marketing side. They were completely lost. And when this guy is completely awesome engineer, Chris Krim, came with pretty much in 1 week. It came with FileMaker Go. The first version, I don't know if you remember, the first version was terrible but pretty much written in 1 week. So and one guy, and they were saying pretty much, what do you want us to do with this? So this is where they were in that time, right? So it's that's why it's important you guys know that, because it's normal to feel completely lost with this kind of thing. So now it's 10 years later, 12 years later, the advent of iPad, pretty much, we have experience. So I got experience, and some of you guys got experience, but it's so I want to share that experience with you. I have only 3 hours to share what normally takes 3 months to explain. So that's why it's extremely concentrated and extremely expedited, but it's better than nothing. And I worked hard to come with something like, right? So today we are going to have kind of a discussion, a practical discussion. Okay. So I have my iPad with me, here, but I'm going to share my screen. Today we are going to do an exercise. It won't be perfect. It won't be working. It's just an exercise that how you can get something working, right, for iPad without redoing many works from the version you have for desktop, But this works only if you have the version of desktop embracing the new design paradigm that we have today. Remember, I told you that, for example, if I open App Store, right? So why the App Store on the desktop looks like this, right? It's because if I open the same App Store, on the iPad, it will look exactly the same, right? It will look the same. So I can plug it right quick, and you will see that it will look the same. I don't have the dark here. I have the dark mode, right? Here I don't, right? So that's why it looks white and looks black. But you have the same buttons, and you have pretty much the same icons and the same distribution of text, the same visual. Everything's the same. Why? Because it is the same. It is the same. Okay, so it's the same icons, the same text, the same buttons, everything the same. Why? Is because Apple is not it's a mercantile company, right? It's a market company. They do that because it costs much less to do the desktop version to be touchable, right? From the beginning. So that's why everything looks the same. And we have pretty much the same icons, right? We have the get icon. I don't know if I have see here. We have the same icons. We have exactly the same thing. Okay, so, and we have the same type of widget here and there. So you see that they're both looks very, very similar. So here you have two columns here, but here you have three, but it's pretty much the same thing. So with FileMaker, we need to do exactly the same thing. When you think the desktop version to be touchable, so if you embrace the same design paradigms that we have for the touch, right? In terms of icons, buttons, text, distribution of, organization of lists, positioning of objects, right? That is the same. It should be the same. So for example, here, you see here, I have a perfectly touchable, list view, right? With the same design principles as touch. We used to see that now on this type of distribution and organization. We see that now under what's the name? On their desktop, right? But that's pretty new, because before we weren't seeing that at all. We were seeing much a list view like columns with the labels, right? But because 10 years, 12 years later of the touch things, right? We don't have labels, okay? We have daylights, CRM and productivity app, We have Mela, it's your personal cookbook. So I don't know what that is, and I don't need to know. Just what I need to read the information, right? I don't need to know that this is type of app. I don't need that. Why I need to know type of app, So before, we were seeing columns with labels, right? That was making the thing like looking like an Excel spreadsheet, okay? But now we don't need, right? We don't need. So that's why we have this type of distribution. This obviously, right? It's an address, right? It's not the recipe of grandma cookies. So this is an address, it's obvious. And pretty much I understand, I can get it that this is the address of that contact because I'm in the contact. And I can assume that if I'm seeing that address, that the address I should read, right? Like the primary address, right? So here, obviously, I don't know why I don't have the space here. Let me. It bothers me to have the. Oh, it's okay. I will fix that later. So it's obvious that this is, valid consulting. Obvious. This is a company, right? It's a company. Obvious, right? And this is the last name, first name. How I know that? Because when you have this type of construction, Holmes, comma, space, Kirby, this is the way we used to see first name, last name, first name, right? Not first name, last name, because if we have first name, last name, we don't need the comma, right? So obviously, if that's the name of a company, human resources is not the name of the wife of that guy. It's human resources. It's pretty much departments of where the guy is working, right? Customer relation, media relation. That's not, media relation is not the name of the son of the guy. So I don't need a label. I'm making dramatic to make you to get you understand that we don't need labels. We don't have labels here, right? We don't. Do you see labels? Master your Mac, help mail, help use, trim. I don't have. Do you have here, please? Do you have here the word price to understand that this is what you're going to pay? The first version of the App Store, you have it. You had the label, but with time, we know that this is the price you're going to get to pay, right? And we know that this button, I get it. Why I get it is because I paid it or it's free, right? Now, if I paid it, I have this icon. So get means you get it for free. This means you're going to pay $69.99, right? This means you already have it. You got it, you paid it, or you download it once, but you don't have it in your computer. Because otherwise, I don't know, shrink it. No. What do I have in my computer? An app that I can, I don't know. So if you have an app, it said open. If you have the app in your computer, it said open, right? I don't know, maybe I can just download this. And it said open. So what I'm trying to show you here is that the way you're going to organize your objects in the layouts, right, must tell or see open. So you see here, I don't need a button price, another button get, another button download, or another button open. I don't need 4 buttons. I need only 1 button. Also, I mean, yes, it is 1, 2, 3, 4 different buttons, but you show it, you display the one the user needs to get, depending on the status, right? So the distribution, how it is distributed, right, must tell all to the user. For example, let me fix that problem here. You know, it's missing a space here. Okay. So the distribution of objects like this, right? Here we have parentheses. So why the parentheses? The parentheses is because if you have valid consulting human resources without separation, you lose your user. You might get confusion, right? So that's why you need to use that type of organization to use that as separation. And the separation tells all, right? Here, for example, I have obviously a phone number. If I'm seeing that phone number, okay, I assume that this is a phone number I need to use if I want to call the guy, right? And you remember, I told you that you need to show things only when they are available, right? So for example, here, obviously I can send an email, right? But I don't see the email. So why you want to display the email at, remember yesterday I said, it's not necessary to show the email. I don't care about seeing the email. If I need, I can add a tooltip for their desktop, because tooltip doesn't work on iPad, right? But you see this type of distribution is the same we have here, the same we have here. So when you adopt this type of design, pretty much you got more than 50%, more than a half work done to get your layout workable on iPad. And we will see next week on iPhone, right? Now, how we do, right? How we do with, let's say I have this layout and I want to make it iPadable, let's say, okay? So what I'm going to do, it won't work, okay? I'm not saying that it's going to work. It won't work, but it's just for the demonstration, right? Okay. So how we can get this iPadable demonstration? First, let's duplicate the layout to make sure that we don't, mess up a pretty file. So go to layout mode, right? Go to layout mode. And let's start. First, what we are going to do right now, we're going to ignore that for now, okay? So we're going to ignore the main navigation. The main navigation we do tomorrow, right? So that navigation like this, we do it tomorrow. I'm just now showing you how we do the reorganization of objects. So let's assume, see here, we have columns. So let's get rid of those. So let's assume that an iPad, it's a 2-column, right? 2-column, which it should be. because you must think your iPad vertical. So let me explain. 90% of the time, we browse things like internet, right? Like anything that is not media or game or that is not videos. We what's the name? We display portraits. That's a portrait, not landscape, right? We do portraits. So you need to think your FileMaker layout as portraits. Always. Your customers will feel much more comfortable using portraits. If you need things, if you need to expand the width of your layout and stuff like that, you can use the portrait, but in that case, you need to have another layout. You cannot use the same layouts. So portrait is 2-column, landscape is 3 columns. Okay. So this construction here, we could display that on landscape, but we cannot display that on portraits. Okay. So let's assume now that we're going to do that on portraits, right? So we resize that for portraits, right? So when you resize your layout, tomorrow I will give you the what's the name, the size of the layout, right? Of the screen on the iPad. That's a website for that. So when you get your layout on 2 columns, 1, 2, right? Now we can reshuffle, right, the layouts. Okay, we can reshuffle the layout. So we have many ways to do that, but I'm going to show you my favorites. Okay, first I want to show you this. The navigation on the desktop, the navigation like this one, like a selection of of screen like this, right? So this type of selection, right? Not the main navigation, but the navigation within the layouts, right? Like this. I am in the App Store. This is navigation in the App Store, right? Oh, navigation App Store. The games and apps, arcades, and search. Okay, right? So this is a navigation, right? Of within the same entity, like we are here. This is a navigation within contacts. This is a navigation within. This is navigation within. This is navigation within our App Store, right? Okay. So we have the navigation on the bottom on the iPad and iPhone. Always the navigation is on the bottom. It's not on the top. Why? Because we handle the object, the device, right, with the hand on the bottom. So it's better, it's more comfortable to have the navigation on the bottom, and you can go everywhere on your iPad. You will have the main navigation on the bottom, always, right? Always. So let me kill all the apps here. So navigation on the bottom. So now, on the desktop, the navigation is pretty much always on the top. We don't have navigation on the bottom. Navigation on the bottom of the screen on the desktop is a mistake. It's not good. You know, you shouldn't do that. We don't have navigation on the bottom. You have navigation on the top. You have on the top or on the left or on the side. So let's take the App Store example. You see here, and this. You see, this navigation is on the left when this one under iPad is on the bottom. But they're the same, this and this, right? But now you understand the problem. And now you understand why we have richer navigation here and lesser navigation here. First, so something I want you to show you. We have limited space. Here, not only we have all the 8 of the screen, but if we want more, we can scroll, right? Here we cannot scroll. That's it, right? That's it. And as you can see, Apple didn't put a field search. You don't have a search field. You don't. It's awkward to have a search field like this, right? We have on the desktop, but we don't have on the iPad. It's awkward. Don't do that. Don't even do that. It's not good, doesn't look good, doesn't feel right. Okay. It's a preference, right? It's a guidance, it's not a rule. You can do whatever you want, okay? But it's not correct, in my opinion. I will argue, if the ball would be there, it would be arguing with me, but it's not there, so I'm taking advantage of this. And so in front of me said the absentees are always wrong. so I like this expression. So you understand, here we have search and here we have search. Much comfortable. And why this? Okay, so because when we tap here, we have the keyboards coming up. Remember? So you need to have space. You need to have space, right? Also, important to show you, here we have this, right? We have a list like this. We have a pretty much this is what is the trending, right? So that's the trending, right? And here we have the trending, but it's like this. Like this. This is the trending. This could be, video, football. This is a trending, and this is a trending. So you cannot reproduce the same paradigm on iPad and on desktop. So it's important, this type of drop-down menu or whatever, because it works on FileMaker. FileMaker Go will display things, but it will be like you will get your user epileptic if you put that stuff, that type of list on an iPad. Doesn't work well. It's not a FileMaker problem. It's not. It's an iPad problem. It's that Apple had I have a question for you. Why Apple didn't use this on iPad? If it's a good solution, why a gazillions, billions of dollar company is wasting money not using this if it was the good solution? I'm asking, right? So always you have to think like this. Say, why those people with all the gazillions of dollars they have, why they will bother not using something cool on desktop on the iPad? Because it doesn't work. Because it's not comfortable. This comfortable, this not, right? And we have filters, right? We have the filters here. We have filters, right? And you see the filters, we use something. I'm going to change the language right quick. We have, oh, that's funny. I don't have the filters in English. Oh, yeah, it's the filters. Okay. So I have the filters here, right? And so now you understand the difference between, why is the filters not work? I don't know. Anyway, so do we have any questions so far?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
You are free to keep going.
So you understand now that you need to get a layout for all of those things, right? So here, if I want to use this paradigm here, so I don't have a lot of time to explain things, but so I want you to get that, all what I'm saying, I try to demonstrate using, standard application like this. So let's start modifying that file. First, I'm going to put on the bottom here a bottom navigation. So I have my bottom navigation here. Then, okay, then that button, right, that was there, I put that on the bottom. Okay, so can make it smaller. Can make it like 17 and okay, make it smaller. Make it this bigger. But now, right, I need an additional layout, right? So I need an additional button because I need a button for a layout that I didn't have in the main file. Let me explain. So first, let me put that a little bit bigger. So here on the desktop layout, right? So let's go back. I was displaying 3 columns, but now I am removing 1 column, and I need an additional layout, an additional button here to display that part. Let's demonstrate. I think it's better to demonstrate. So I'm going to create a new button here, right? And I'm calling our home. And I'm going to put the house here. I don't know if we have the weather home. Okay, yeah. ET font home. Okay, so yes, I know I'm 50 years old. So here we have a new button here. So now I'm going to move this here, right? And this layout, I'm going to make that segment, right? I'm going to make that segment active. So this is how it looks like. So now, yeah, I know it's awful, it's not at all, but you got the points, right? Now, I have a button to display that information where I can display the buttons that will go to contacts, estimate, invoices, blah, 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 blah. So now what do I do? Yes, the answer is yes. I could just reuse that slide control, right? I can reuse that slide control, right? The slide control that these buttons were controlling, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this, right? But I won't do it if I were you. I prefer by far slicing everything in layouts. Why? You know this here, it's a portal, right? That's very important. What I'm showing you, like right, what I'm showing you is the jewel of that day, you know, of that webinar. Is that the most important you need to do? And use that technique, make it yours forever. You know, that portal, it's a portal related. It's related. It's a related data. FileMaker Go hates related data. I tell you, it hates related data on FileMaker Go. Because it's FileMaker Go. It's not, you know, even if iPads are super powerful, even more powerful than my computer. You know, my iPad here, this computer, well, it's a piece of garbage. You know, it's a 2016, you know, or 2 gigahertz dual core i5. It's not a, you know, it's not the Lamborghini like you know, the boss would say, right? It's a Chevy, right? It's not a Lamborghini. It's a 4-cylinder Chevy, right? So, but it's enough for me, and my iPad more powerful than this, okay? But we don't care about if we have a powerful device or not. What we care is to do the right thing. And this is what is the right thing. I want to display this from contacts to contacts, right? That's what I want to do. Is pretty much I want to display the related contacts of that contact. Okay, that's what I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a new layer, right? Related contacts. So you name it the way you want. It's a list view. And I'm showing contacts, right? So I want to display related contacts. So that's relationship. The TO5H goes to the table contacts. So my layout will be on the table contacts. I have a list view. That's my list view. And now what do I do? Pretty much this. I'm copying this lines, this row here. I'm copying the row of the polo, and I'm making mine this row, right? So this is my row. I love it. Gonna get rid of this. This is my row. Make it white. White. So, and this is the button navigation, right? So now, this is from the context contacts. So I can just do this. Just do this. Okay. I'm going to show you something really cool. Okay? Okay. Why? Now I'm going to show you the secret recipe of the Coca-Cola. Okay? So, why I'm using merge fields for my layouts and why I'm not using fields. This is why. In one click, I'm going to remap all those fields. Demo. I'm going to, right, replace this. That's why the name is super important. I copy this. Those are text in layouts. I'm going to find replace. Find this, replace with this. And look what happened. Bam. So I remapped. Oh yeah, I forgot something here. So let's undo. So I need to copy all the Okay. So I'm taking this all the name. So let me go. Let me take this out. I'm copying the name completely, right? I'm of the context, that the T05H contact, that the context. I'm not selecting the name of the field, but that the context, and the context is the same here, the same here, the same here, the same here, 4 times, even more, because I'm going to show you. So here I'm copying this and I'm doing find and replace. And then I'm saying this, replace with this. Because replace with this context. Okay. So I'm replacing this text with this text, right? Okay, replace all. So I'm replacing this text with this. So I replaced 5 times. 5 times. Okay, he found 5 and he replaced 5. Demonstration. Did it works? Right? So let's remove this. He replaced the name and the accounts on this block of text. Here, he replaced the account, he replaced the accounts, the parentheses, he made all of this, he replaced everything, so this will work. And he replaced this, the primary address calculation, and he replaced the phone number. everything now is ready to work. Or this. Demonstration. Bam. So in one click, copy paste, I remapped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields. If you had a field like traditional fields, you have to do this. Double click, go there, find your context, and click. Go there, double click, find your context, and click. So here is cool, I have 5, but sometimes I have 30, 15. So 15 times, click, 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 click. No, I prefer to do copy, paste, boom, replace. That's why I'm using that. I'm using merge fields in that particular case. That's why I'm using merge fields on my portals, because, and not here, because here, okay, I need to edit the field, so I cannot use merge fields, right? Here, I don't edit the field. I'm using merge field. When I don't need to edit the field, I'm using merged fields. When I need to edit the field, I mean to enter, to click and edit the field, I'm using fields. So, and only merge fields allows you to do construction like this, right? So people said, oh, Nick, why are you using that? Oh, because, you know, because. So now you understand why this is cool. So do we have questions so far? I'm pretty sure we have questions. No?
We have a question from David Angel. Let me pull it up real fast.
How to get the line dividers.
Dividers. Yep.
Multiple way. You can click on the body and make the bottom line. Okay, so I'm removing it here, right? So you have this way, right? So this way is simple. I draw a line, you know, I draw a line. That's it. Because I like the upper way, you know, I do like the upper way, which is cuts like this, you know, it's not edge to edge. The divider are not edge to edge. Here, if you don't do the line, so that's the difference. If you don't do the line and you use the body bottom line, it's edge to edge. Edge to edge. I don't like it. Visually doesn't feel comfortable, is cumbersome. I don't like it. So I prefer to use upper paradigms, you know, and I draw my own line, and yeah, you know, it's very simple. So this is how you get the line divider, right? So so you see that I got now a layout that goes straight to the table. I'm not using a related record. So now let's continue our work. This button here, I want to go to this one, go to layouts, and the layout is L300A. But which one? It's the copy, I think. Yeah. Okay. This button here, before it was going to that portal, it was sliding sliding a slide control and show that portal. But now I don't have a portal. I have a layout that goes straight to the table. But I need to select only the related records. You understand? So the button is not go to slide navigation. No. The button is go to related records. using exactly the same context, T05H, right? I'm going to the T05H, using my new layout, my brand new layout, which is related contacts, show only the related records. Boom, boom. So now I'm going to copy that button here, right? And I'm going to resize exactly the same, those two layouts, because we need to do that. So it's the width is 605 and this one is 652. So I need to do that. I need to do 652. Okay, so going to put that centered. I need to resize this part here, the same 8. It's very important that all those things need to be sized the same way in order to, when we do the transition from one layout to another layout, you don't see things moving, right? Okay. And I'm going to position this where this is positioned. So 24,670. 24,670. Oh no. So yeah, so let's do this. Okay, let's do it visually. Doesn't need to be perfect. So this button bar belongs to the home. This button bar belongs to the second segments. So now I have my transition and I have my data demonstration. Boom. Okay, so I need to do some, this one, oh, where is it? Okay. This one here, I need to change to this one. This one cannot be a merge field because it's a container, right? That's the only one that I need to fix, right? So look, I have, imagine that we are in the iPad, right? We are in the iPad, and this is the same layout in the desktop, right? So far, so good. Okay. I have the same information. This home, I can switch, change contacts, right? This is an iPad. I've desktop. When I go from here and I click on contacts, I have my contacts that I have here. The same, right? They're not sorted the same way because this polar is sorted. So I need to sort them, but you got the points. Why I made, why I made this statement of not showing a polar. And now I'm going to show you why that is better not showing a polar on the iPad. On an iPad, and that's what we're going to see. Talk about that more tomorrow. But on an iPad, you must actually it looks good. It looks good. I'm pretty, tomorrow I'm playing this on the iPad. It will look perfect. you see, I mean, if you see that on your iPad, you're not going to say, yeah, you think, okay, it's correct, it's good, it's not the best, but but with a little, just what I need here, just what I need to do is this. That's all. The segment part, the active, I need to remove this. That's it. That's all what I need to do. Copy this. That's all what I need to do. And make it this one a little bit more like this. And this. Okay. That's it. And I have an iPad layout. Boom. iPad layout. So so you understand now what I have to do, right? On an iPad, we need to give more visibility. We need to give more visibility to the user because we are in the iPad. We need to see more things because we need to make things more comfortable. If we use Polo, we lose my favorites, which is the subsummary sort by name last. Do we have a name last? Name first? It must be name.
No, the name last a little bit above that. Oh.
Oh, you saw the last?
Yes.
Oh.
Next, underneath. Yep, there you go.
Yeah. And what do I put there? Right? I'm going to put there this. We are normally I should be able to, but anyway, I can put this here. So I'm going to put there the merge fields, and I want this, and I put it iPad-like. Boom, even bigger. So what is this? Right? Oops. What is this? Something very cool. So we can get rid of the delete button, And so what this is this. So now I'm going to change that button here. I'm going to change that button a script. So we can do that. Okay. Convert to script. And I'm going to get this and make a sort records by name last and name first. Right? So, boom, boom. Why is not? It didn't. Oh, yeah, because I need to change that button as well. So this is script. Should be there. Script buttons. Okay. So today we did a good thing. So let's pretend this is an iPad. You go there and boom, ACHM. Okay, so that's a fixing here to do, but you understand what I mean. Okay, so I'm getting the initial. You cannot get that on the Polo, period. So you get much more freedom. visual freedom. We accept the restriction here because we get the benefits of getting everything on a flat view. We get the benefit of something like this. But here, not only is better, it looks better, but it's behave better. It's easier. You don't need to get to use a portal. You don't need to have heavy layouts like this with a lot of objects and because all of this is one layout, right? So here you have multiple layouts. The button looks the same, so you understand. So, and you get more things out of it, right? If you see this in your iPad, you don't see, right? You don't. You say, okay, it looks good, right? So I'm glad because I've done everything almost on time.
Yes, but we got a couple questions.
Okay, cool.
On the bottom bar for on the bottom button bar for navigation, how many buttons do you keep before it gets crowded?
Oh, this is way too crowded. I don't know. It depends on many things. So first, if we get my example here of the App Store, you know, they decided to have the label on the right side. We can save space on doing what I'm doing here. So I think it's based on your personal feeling and on a good visual, right? This is a little bit crowded. I will say in that here, you cannot exceed 6 buttons here with that visual. The visual with the icon on the left and the bottom and the text on the right. In that visual, you can extend to 8. You know, I will say. And here it looks crowded. It looks, but you know, I need to sit on an iPad, but it looks crowded. I can tell. I'll tell you, it looks crowded. It doesn't look right. It looks crowded. Right? So we have a way to fix that, right? We have a way to fix that. Can show you tomorrow. I will show you tomorrow. But anyway, other question?
Yes. How do you distinguish related contacts from all contacts, or related projects versus all projects? In the bottom navigation, I would have thought we were going to all contacts or projects.
No, it's not all. No, because this is not the main navigation. This is a navigation. Yeah, I forgot to show something here, but it was just a proof of concept, right? It wasn't meant to be working, right? So we can normally what we do here, you know, we put an information like this here in the contacts, right? In that contact, we put the information on top of which contact those lists belongs. This is a Nick Hunter related contacts, right? So this is what we need to do. I'm doing manually but we need to do like this. This is Nick Hunter's related records, related contacts, okay? So we have this on the top, maybe a little bit smaller, not bold, and you know, and maybe a little bit like this, you know, I don't know, you know. So so you have Nick Hunter's related record contacts. So you keep like you there. This is Nick Hunter, you know, or you know, where's Nick Hunter? You know, where's Nick Hunter? Oh, I'm not there anymore. But anyway, I don't know why it's there. Alvarez, whatever, right? So you understand, you put the name here, so it's Alvarez Smith, you know, you can say this, Alvarez. So let's say this is the dynamic, right? Alvarez related contacts. So you click here, you in other. So if you change this, it will be carton related contacts, right? So those are related contacts, right? So this is not all. You understand? Because this is a navigation. This is the contacts of Nick Hunter, the estimate of Nick Hunter, the invoice of Nick Hunter, the project of Nick Hunter, because we are in Nick Hunter, right? So this is the same. This is not all. This is for that record. We have contact, estimate, so for that record. And tomorrow I'm going to show you the main navigation, right? The big one, the big picture, the big navigation. We do that tomorrow. Other questions?
Yes. How is Nick displaying the blue line dividers in layout mode?
This? How I'm doing what?
I think the little blue lines you have to like set up distances. He's asking how you do those, how you get
Oh,
those.
those are guides. So to show guides, you need to show rollers. And then when you have the ruler, you can click, drag out. Click, drag out. Click, drag out. And the same vertical. Click, drag out. Click, drag out. Click, drag out. And then you can move that. And if you want to get rid of it, you click and you drag to the top. Click, drag to the top. Click, drag to the top. Click, drag to the left. Click the left. Click, or you can just right click and say remove. Then you can lock a guide. Lock a guide, that means that guide you cannot move it anymore. Or you can share that guide to all the layouts in your solution.
Oh, that's an idea. You can share the guides. That's cool.
Yeah, share guide is good because especially when you do, I use guides a lot when I do iPad, layouts and iPhone. They're very useful. Okay. But pretty much, it's cool. But you need the ruler here. You need to show the ruler to make that happen.
There you go, David. Also, I think we're good otherwise on questions. Thank you very much, Nick. I greatly appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so don't forget, watch this video. Very, very good, because the trick I gave you of the replacing of this, something I'm going to have a webinar just with this, because you saw the power of this, that you can remap a bunch of fields without pain. So that's why I'm using the merge fields. And so see you tomorrow.
Yes, and then we'll see you Tuesday next week, but see you tomorrow. Yes. Thank you very much, Nick. You have a good one.
Bye.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!